He's going to go to a maritime academy to be a captain on ship. That's his plan. He could go Navy when he graduates, or he could go into the private merchant fleet. But he is going to have the opportunity to choose. Is he going to work stateside? Is he going to work internationally? Right? Is he going to? He's got the whole world ahead of him, and it's breathtaking for me to watch this kid, this young man, make that type of choice, that choice to get away from everyone else, the control mechanisms. You know, I don't know where he got that thinking from, being free, but it's important to him. But he's looking at it as a career choice. I'm seeing it as a lifestyle choice, a choice of paradigms. Does he want to get tied down, or does he want to be free? Right? And if he frees himself in the manner he talks about, right, he's going to maintain freedom, build personal wealth, and make his own choices, and not be roped in to a social paradigm, the plantation, where you're controlled by the people in your neighborhood and your girl or your wife or your woman who has a family with you and then uses that to beat you on the fucking head every day and remind you of your job, your house, your car, your debt, your kids, your retirement, and going to jail ultimately if she wants to try and do it by taking, you know, a club and hitting herself on the head and then blaming you, calling the police, and having you arrested. That's the level of control the paradigm of the plantation is on, right? That's the level of control they use. So Mgtow, it's not about hating women. To me, it's not. I just see women as the closest object around us to get to us through our heart. Because as men, we have an innate desire to care for, to provide, to build, right? And to help. Caveman in a modern sense, but still we're a man, a caveman, that innate desire and that love we have within us and our intellect to see the future and to plan it out. They prey on that. They use women to prey on that and then punish us by slapping chains on our wrists and chains on our ankles. And ultimately, after years of abuse, chains on your mind. Right? I just keep having flashbacks of The Matrix. Right? And it's a great movie. It's full of metaphor and analogy and all that shit we love. But, you know, when the character says, I'm trying to free your mind, it has to start here, in your mind. Mgtow is freedom. If you don't want freedom, Mgtow isn't going to help you. You have to want freedom and have that feeling of freedom and know what freedom gets you. Right? The slave on the plantation. We know what the plantation gets you. It gives you chains. It binds you down. It controls you. That's what the plantation gives you. And then they give you little pieces of shit to eat. They'll give you a car to drive. They'll give you a job. They'll put a legal system over the top of you that's going to beat your ass every time you fuck up. And then you wonder why. Why did I make that choice? Oh, because, you know, I thought I was going to fall in love and live a romantic fairy tale and the American dream. That's not right. You've accepted that by involving yourself, intertwining yourself with the plantation where you get locked in. You're bound up. Mgtow is a way out of that. It allows you to start your life and live your life on your terms. And if you want to put your head back in the fucking noose, you can. Right? If you want to put your head in the guillotine, your nutsack on an anvil, and let someone else decide if they're going to cut your head off or smash your balls, you can do that. But at least if you start with Mgtow, free your mind. get off the plantation. If you're already on it, yeah, you're fucked. It's hard. That's what divorce is about, is getting off the plantation. But you still have to free your mind. You have to want that freedom. Just leaving one plantation for another doesn't do it. You know, that's what a lot of people are like, yeah, I got a divorce and got me a good woman now. Dude, you're back on the plantation. Right? So she doesn't yell at you as much. You think that's fucking better? You're still a slave to her, debt, your job, the legal system, everything. Right? Mgtow is freedom. It's not just freedom from women. As I was saying, it's not about hating women. It's about freedom. Liberty. Real choice. If you can free yourself from women, which is the ultimate control, as I said, over your heart and your mind, right? The indoctrinated system you're supposed to believe we have to have. If you can free yourself from that, then you can take steps to free yourself from other relationships where you're tied to things that want to control and bind you. Owning real estate ties you to the government. Having a job ties you to the government. You can't ever, I know, really 100% get away from all of it, but you can minimize it. And the less interference you have from others, the greater your freedom, the greater your liberty, the greater your peace of mind. And at my age, at 47 now, it is incredibly difficult because of all of the social conditioning that has just barraged me my whole life, that I've tried fighting off while fighting off the woman and fighting off the job, right? I get to my age and my kids are just about grown up. And I'm divorced. And I'm looking around going, what is the purpose of life? It's like I'm 20 again. I'm going, holy shit, I've got my whole life ahead of me. The next 30, 40, 50, 60 years, depending on life expectancy based on technological advances and health. What is ahead of me? It is the whole world right now. And the last thing I'm going to do is run out and find a woman and tie myself to that and get back on the plantation. No fucking way. Right? You think Martin's going to do that? You know, he's making good money. He's in China. It's a whole different culture and world and language, but he's teaching higher math in a foreign fucking language. That's what happened for him. And he knows he's going to get to see his children again at some point if they want it. And he wants it. Because the internet allows that communication. They're going to find out that their dad is alive. He was dead. She told him, their kids, dead. Fucking dead. Dead to her. Because she wasn't going to get her money. She lost her control. She wanted to destroy him and couldn't. Yeah, he's alive, but dead to the kids. Yeah, they're going to find out their dad's alive. And those kids will know who their mother is and how evil and shitty she was to do that. Right? The current system, the plantation, until it destroys itself through social chaos or shit hitting the fan or a major fucking asteroid impact or the planet Gore contacts us and says you guys are doing it all wrong, and men wake up one day and realize they're fucking men. Until that day and until that time, right, the plantation is going to continue to do what it does. Right. That paradigm has to be snapped. And if you want to snap it for yourself personally, Mgtow's the way. It breaks the paradigm of the plantation apart. And then it's up to you to decide where you're going, what you're going to do. And it can be scary, this idea of freedom in your life. Because we've been bound so tightly, so hard. It is so radical to think that you can be free and make decisions on your own without huge consequences. Right? Martin talks about people judging him because of what he did. Right? Those are little bits of control. People trying to grab onto him, pull him back to the plantation. Right? To scare him with social bullshit and guilt. And he's got to just let it go. Freedom. And now the choices are yours. It's scary. But it's also invigorating. At age 47, I think like a fucking 20-year-old in a lot of different ways. Because of the freedom of my mind. And I do these Mgtow videos to talk about all different things having to do with the social controls and the agenda, our personal lives, our stories, what you can do about it on a realistic level, what your limitations are, you know, what your freedom is, how it satisfies, all of that. All of that. You know, it's not just about being angry about women and putting them down and talking about them, but it's recognizing that women are the ultimate control. The government can scare you, but you'll fight it. Social control, the need for acceptance by those around us, and the woman, your woman, is the ultimate control of the mind and the heart, the intellect and the emotion. And we need to let that go. Mgtow's Freedom, thank you for sponsoring me on PayPal, Patreon. Thank you guys a ton. Love it. You guys buy my scotch and stogies, and I sit back and I go, you know, fucking men bought me this, right? This scotch was bought by people who appreciate this channel. Thank you guys very much. Semper Fi. Thumbs up this video, subscribe, and share. Peace.